shark down there. It must have measured at least 16, maybe 17 feet.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're taking a look at some mysteries surrounding ocean creatures that will keep you up at night.
What is the significance of the dorsal fin crests and of the pelvic fin or oars, which give the fish its name?
Macropinna microstoma.
Macropinna is a small, dark fish with large fins, a tiny mouth, and a remarkable pair of eyes.
Think that's a weird name? Wait till you see the fish it belongs to. First discovered in 1939, this mysterious and thoroughly alien-looking creature wasn't photographed alive until 2004.
The fish discovered alive by the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute is the first specimen of its kind to be found with its soft, transparent dome intact.
It spends its life at depths between 2,000 and 2,800 feet, and though it has been caught a number of times over the years, its fragile anatomy has made it incredibly challenging to study. From the barrel eye family, Macropinna microstoma has a translucent domed head, which, coupled with its unique tubular eyes, gives it an advantage over its prey.
When it spots food, it can rotate its eyes to look forward, to include its mouth in the field of view.
The tubular eyes are extremely well suited for capturing light in its dark habitat, while its domed head allows it to not only look forward, but also up through its own head. Unique? Sure, but also super creepy looking. Immortal jellyfish. Eternal life is something you usually hear about in fiction rather than reality. However, there are some beings that have evolved to essentially live forever, even if they live in extreme conditions. Turritopsis dohrnii, better known as the immortal jellyfish, have the unique ability to return to their polyp stage when faced with something potentially deadly. While they aren't immune to predators, they can still evade other causes of death such as old age and assault. Marine biologists are still learning more about how this process, also known as transdifferentiation, truly works, and if it can be replicated in a medical setting. It's hard to believe that something so tiny may hold the key to one of humanity's biggest curiosities. The HMS Daedalus' sea serpent. One of the benefits of living in modern times is that many animals have been classified, quelling fears about the existence of fantastical beasts. However, for those living in the past, seeing an unknown or unidentified creature confirmed those worries. This was the case for the crew of the HMS Daedalus, who in 1848 swore they saw a large sea serpent swimming alongside their ship. They reported that it was at least 60 feet long and was more comparable to a reptile than a fish. Some modern-day specialists have asserted that they saw a sei whale, although there hasn't been any evidence confirming that theory. Given the Daedalus' description of its size and speed, there's no wonder they automatically assumed it was a monster. Giant oarfish.
An ambassador of the deep comes to the borders of our world.
When hearing about the things that live in the deep ocean, it's hard to fathom that some can even exist. A fish that can grow to almost 60 feet in length and weigh over half a ton is nearly inconceivable. The giant oarfish's size, dorsal fin, and multicolored body helps it look more like an alien than something you'd find at your local aquarium. While some have traversed into shallow areas, they're usually elusive. This has made it difficult to learn more about their behavioral patterns and life cycle, with research on the latter only starting in the last few years. We have the opportunity to learn more about them in real time, and when we do, it'll be an achievement in the maritime field.
Seem to be definitely using the chain as a point of reference. Really follow this up.
Australia's cannibal shark. Just as lions rule the savannah, great white sharks rule the seas. Okay, technically killer whales have been known to target them, but that's not what happened here.
The recent discovery has led to a cutting-edge theory. The great white sharks could feed off each other.
Australian scientists were shocked and utterly perplexed when a 9-foot-long great white shark was apparently devoured. It had been tagged with a tracker as part of a study, and when said tracker washed up on shore, the data contained within showed a sudden spike in temperature followed by a staggering 1,900-foot dive.
A temperature that could only be achieved inside the belly of another living animal.
After careful investigation, the researchers were left with only one possible conclusion. It was eaten by a cannibal shark of the same species, estimated to be 16 feet long and 2 tons. Terrifying, right?
While great whites tend to avoid conflict, cannibalism is not unheard of.
Leptocephalus Giganteus. Described by Anton Brunn in 1930 and Peter Henry John Castle in 1959, Leptocephalus giganteus is an extremely rare species of eel thought by some to swim the ocean depths. Only 2 such specimens have ever been studied, and they were in the larval state, meaning that they were nowhere close to reaching maturity. But even as a larva, one specimen was roughly 6 feet in length. And given that eel larva is typically 1/32nd of its adult length, that would suggest a truly monstrous eel come maturity. Now, contemporary scientists have suggested that Leptocephalus giganteus was likely misidentified and would not grow substantially beyond that point. But without further study, it's impossible to say. Leptocephalus giganteus could be the reality behind sea serpents. The colossal squid.
Release the Kraken!
This terrifying deep-sea beast was first discovered in 1925, and its existence admittedly lends a certain credibility to all those myths about sea monsters. Because colossal squids are so elusive, our knowledge of their anatomy is somewhat limited, but based on beaks that have been recovered, it's been hypothesized that at maturity, they could weigh up to 1,500 pounds and measure 30 to 33 feet in length.
Steve was expecting the squid to be more than 30 feet long. It's only half that.
Only a handful of specimens have ever been found, which makes sense given that they generally inhabit the Antarctic Ocean and dwell at depths of up to 7,200 feet. As if the colossal squid's size wasn't intimidating enough, they're armed with both swiveling and 3-pointed hooks on their limbs. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. The Megalodon.
That's going to be the other alternative.
Human history across various cultures is chock full of myths and legends about sea monsters that tormented sailors of yesteryears. Unlike the Leviathan or the Kraken, however, we know for a fact that the Megalodon once swam these seas. The word Megalodon literally means big tooth.
And these 7-inch teeth are almost all that remain of this extraordinary creature. No skeletons have ever been found.
Measuring up to 59 feet in length and reaching upwards of 59 metric tons, these prehistoric terrors certainly earn the name. The general scientific consensus is that they went extinct millions of years ago, but there are those who believe they continue to survive in secret. And it's not just Discovery Channel fueling the speculation. Species like the coelacanth and megamouth shark remind us that anything could lurk in the ocean depths. What underwater creature gives you the heebie-jeebies? Let us know in the comments.
Megalodon was probably the apex predator of all time. People think T-Rex or something like that. It's dwarfed by Megalodon. Megalodon is huge, maybe even 70 feet long.